the Ayahuasca, I found it really intense at first. Didn't know how to handle it. I just found it really, really overwhelming, and because it's something that I've not done before, seeing the things happen in my eyes and in my mind really kind of freaks me out. So at that point, I think I managed to get out from the main circle, and Christine was there. So thank you very much for your presence there, because that really helped calm me down. You spent about 30 minutes with me, I think, or maybe more, just calming me down, asking me what's wrong and everything. And I was literally afraid of what I was seeing, or finding it difficult to accept that there was something I was experiencing which I've not experienced before, something that maybe is real, but I just couldn't accept it, that it's happening. So then I managed to calm down. Christine calmed me down, and then eventually went back into the room, and then slowly calmed down, and I started seeing things in sets of kind of 4 or 5. So there are points during the journey where I saw lots of colours and stuff, and it was very intense. I think I was talking to Pete earlier, that might be the DMT. That was kind of very nice, and it was when I saw all these huge colours and patterns and everything, I felt like that was the Ayahuasca or something. That was when I was getting a message towards myself. It was very overwhelming, so at that point I was kind of heavy breathing, like having to breathe a lot, but it was also enjoyable, and I felt like there's something a message was trying to be sent to me. So that kept happening. Now and again I kept seeing that. There was one point where I did see, I was outside of a world or a place where there were lots of people, and the feeling that I got from these people were that they were very strong and healthy. I could feel really good energy from these people, and they were kind of walking around doing their own thing, and it seemed really beautiful, and they just seemed, I could feel a really good strong energy from them, and I thought, wow, this is really, really nice. And as I tried to approach these people, I somehow couldn't. There was just something stopping me, and then I could feel inside that I kind of looked around behind me, and I could see a lot of grey, a lot of kind of violence and pain and anger, and then I could start hearing a lot of kind of horrible sounds, to do with kind of torture and anything to do with that kind of stuff. And I could feel things like ego and anger, and hate and all these kind of negative feelings. And then it kind of sunk in, and I realized, well, okay, that's what it's like, that's how it can be, that's what exists, and well, I kept going forward, but I couldn't, and I realized that, okay, well, what it's trying to tell me maybe is that you need to deal with these things first, and if you do deal with these things first, then you can go there, but at the moment you can't. So that was one of the biggest things that I felt from the Ayahuasca, that it showed me that I do need to deal with a lot of the negative things, thought patterns that do exist in my mind before I can become really happy and step over into a more positive light. One thing I wasn't sure is, was that place real or not? That's still something I still find it hard to believe that can something like Ayahuasca take me to another place which really does exist. It's a concept I'm still trying to come to terms with. It's obviously out of this world, and I think because I'm so used to thinking a certain way and living a certain way here on this planet and in this life, it's hard to accept that there is more out there. But I mean, I guess that's something which is going to manifest itself more as I do more. So that feeling, I saw that quite often, and then I did tend to go from place to place. One good thing was when at the beginning, when I was purging, when I was being sick, when it got really intense, when I kind of puked and then lifted my head up, it was like I was being born into another place. It was like the pain of being sick was actually me being reborn into a new place. So when I looked up, I could see that I was leaving this place and going to another. And again, the feeling of this other place was really quite powerful. That the atmosphere and looking around, it was very peaceful. And then, that was kind of scary. And that was I think at the beginning, that was a really painful process, because it was like I was being pulled from one place to another, and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to leave. And I kept being sick and lifting my head up and trying to, like a baby coming out of a mother's womb, like really just didn't want to leave. But it was, that was very intense. But as time went on, it became easier, and I started becoming more relaxed. Say, just go with it. You're okay, let the plant show you. And yeah, that process kept happening as well. And then eventually, at some points I started smiling and I started feeling comfortable. It's like I started feeling the energy of this different place, and it was okay to go. And I eventually did, that stopped, and I kind of then started really feeling relaxed and started just enjoying it. As I said, like there was the DMT experiences, then there was the new place experiences, then there was just like being sick and being in a new place. And then in general, I did see there were some very grey, dark places as well, where there was a lot of screaming, and there were quite a few visuals, just of horrible things. Everything's grey, whips and kind of sex and violence and screaming and all that. What I understood from that was, well, this is another world as well. It's a kind of another place, but it's a horrible place. And that's something to avoid, really. I mean, I did see more than one kind of place, and each place showed me, well, there's different qualities around that place and different things that you can experience there. So, yeah, I kept seeing all these things, and in general, it was generally a good experience in the end. A lot for me to take in, and kind of feel. So I just kind of sat there and kind of really thought about what I saw, and I was really kind of happy at the end about what I experienced. So that was I think that's all I can remember for the Ayahuasca.